Hi guys, I'm the Bulletproof Bee and welcome to my second raw video. Today's topic is going to be talking about eating disorder recovery and a couple of the things that I've noticed from my multiple attempts to recovering from disordered eating. The first thing that I want to say is that any tips that I give here, they are purely from my own experience. I am not a medical professional, I am not a doctor or in any way qualified to be telling people how to recover from eating disorders. This is just things that I've learned from my own experience, so I just want to put that out there first, so that's done. So, recovering from an eating disorder. A key theme that I've found through each time that I personally have tried to recover from my disordered eating is that I have turned to social media quite a lot and the World Wide Web basically for advice and help on what sort of things I should be eating, how to structure my recovery, the sort of foods that I should be eating at this stage of recovery and the next stage of recovery. And the more that I've thought about this and the more times that I've gone through this, I'm realising that there isn't actually any real way to recover. And I think that's something that quite a few people fall into the trap of. I know that through actually experiencing the eating disorder and being very internalised in that and having that take over your entire body, for some people it can be, that we can go online into different communities and we get help there, and we find that there are certain key ways of being anorexic or bulimic, and you have to feel like you fit into these certain categories. And I feel like we do that with recovery as well, that there is a way to recover, that you, like I said earlier, eat these sorts of foods at this point, and there is no one size fits all, if you pardon the irony, in terms of eating disorder recovery. Everyone has to do things in their own way. So the main point that I'm going to want to get across by the end of this video is to not idolize any sort of specific recovery ideal, and don't try and make it an aesthetic process. This might sound quite ridiculous coming from me because I have an Instagram that's dedicated to recovery, and of course Instagram is about making these pretty pages, but I mean it in the sense of not feeling like you need to follow someone else's behaviours. For example, I know that some people who go through eating disorder recovery, they need to start off very slowly, that they need to take baby steps. Some people might have a lot of fear foods that will take them a long time to overcome, and if that's you, if you feel like it's going to take you a few months to being able to build up to eat a cookie or something like that, then you take as much time as you need. There is nothing saying that you need to jump and suddenly eat that if it's gonna scare you or panic you or make you feel like you go back into your disordered mindset. Take as much time as you need. But equally, if you told yourself, I don't want to eat that cookie until about 3 months in, then you feel like you want it after a couple of weeks, and you feel like you want to eat it and you would enjoy eating it, eat the cookie. Eat the cookie, eat 2 cookies. Just go with what your body is telling you that it needs and it wants, and also obviously with where your mindset is as well. So don't feel like you need to do things a certain way. Don't feel like you need to follow certain ideals, because I did this. I remember making a plan for what I wanted to achieve by the end of a month, by the end of a year, and within a year. I had different lists of different things that I was going to do. And one of them was to eat a meal above a certain number of calories, and I'm pretty sure I put that in sort of like the end of the year one. And I remember within a few weeks like making a meal, and mentally it's bad behaviour to still be in, but I'm still counting things as I eat. It's something that I am working on. I'm trying to get away from numbers, and I realised that this meal was going to be more than I sort of allowed myself. But I thought, you know what, I want this meal. I really want this meal. I'm at a point right now where I want it more than what my mind is telling me that the numbers shouldn't be. So I ate it, and I ate that quite a while before what my end goal was, and I didn't regret it, and that, if anything, pushed me to do more things sooner, not in the sense of like in a detrimental way, just that I felt strong enough that I could do that. And I feel like with other people it's a similar thing. I know for some people need to work to a timeline for actual medical reasons. For example, this time round with my recovery, as I have been diagnosed now. At the point when I was going to the doctors and things, we didn't know about this, but I basically said, right, okay, I'm at a point now where I want to eat. I had been essentially starving myself. Like I say, I'm not going to go into numbers on this channel, but I've been essentially starving myself, and I basically went overnight to saying no, I want to eat, and it wasn't in a bingey sense or a bad mental sense. It was just a case of my mind just, I had a light bulb moment, and I was like, no, I can't live this way. So I wanted to eat everything I could have done mentally, but the doctor told me that in order to make sure that I kept my body safe, that I didn't damage my body anymore, that I had to go slow for a certain number of weeks. And I did that. I followed her advice. It was really hard to do, because it was basically limiting myself when I was telling myself I didn't want there to be any sort of ridiculous limits anymore. But obviously I had to do that for my physical well-being, and then I'm now at a point where it's been long enough that I can just eat what I want within reason. I don't want to end up going into binging or deteriorative cycles, but as long as I am sensible until the point at which I can see the dietitian to get my proper meal plan, I can just sort of roll with what my body feels, so long as I'm not at the point of restricting that I'm losing any more weight. So yeah, it is just a case of going with what your body, as well as what doctors say. I guess that's the main point of, like I say, what I'm trying to get across in this video, that there is no one way to recover. Please don't feel like you have to do things in a certain way, I guess. And just trying to make sure that ultimately you don't compare yourself to other people who are in recovery, because that can be quite a dangerous thing from what I've discovered, that you look at other people and you think that they're either doing better than you, or eating disorders are very competitive, very, very competitive. It's something that I guarantee anyone who watches this who is dealing with any sort of disordered eating, you'll probably just sort of think, no, it's not. It's like a battle with myself, which yes, it totally is, but also when you think about it, we all wanted to be the best at what we were doing to ourselves and what we were putting our bodies through, and that's no way to be. That's no way to be in that disordered mindset, and you don't want to get the opposite disordered mindset, which is about having to be the best of recovering. Like, I know that there are so many people on Instagram and on YouTube who have been talking about this topic for ages, and I'm not looking to be better than them. I'm just seeing it as I want to have my 2 cents in, I guess, and it is just a case of making sure that you are doing everything for yourself, with your body, with your mind, and just making sure that that is your priority, that you don't look at other people and think that my recovery needs to match theirs. You have to keep the mindset of it is my recovery. It's not our recovery, it's not their recovery that I'm learning from, it is my recovery. And take ownership of that and enjoy it. And enjoy the process. Don't think that you need to reach an end goal and that is the goal at which you will be happy. Just enjoy the ride as best as you can. I guess it will be so freaking hard and horrible at parts, but we are all here for each other to support each other. Just don't view someone else's idea as having to be that way of doing things. Okay, I think that's a nice point to round that little chat off. Yeah, so thank you very much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel if you want to keep on top of things that are going on. I want to make a point that not all of my channel is going to be eating disorder related. It is just something that obviously has been quite a sudden impact in my life, so there'll be a few videos about that, but I have a little list that I'm working through of different topics. So yeah, just like I say, subscribe to the channel and see what keeps on coming at you guys. So yes, I will hopefully see you guys in the next video. So see you.